All right. Hey guys, so good evening and welcome to Unacademy. I hope I am audible and visible to all of you here. I am sorry, I couldn't check, like I wasn't able to see if it was going live or not, but I see that it is now, right? So, good evening, everybody, and welcome to this session over here. A couple of announcements to make first, and then we will sum up the Bhakti movement that we have been discussing since yesterday. Now, first of all, a couple of our learners have cracked the examination this year. You could be the next one. Going on further, guys, new UPSC CSE batches are due to go live on the 2nd of February. Comprehensive batch courses on GS for UPSC CSE 2022 and 2023 preparation are now going to go live, right? We have the Mission 2022 batch, the Lakshya 2022 batch, the Expedition 2022 batch, as well as the Mission 2023, the Lakshya 2023, and the Expedition 2023 batches that are now going to go live, right? I'm just checking the comment section alongside for any comments that are coming in. If you have a doubt, please ask me the same over here. All right. Now, please note that the mission batches are the ones that are the bilingual batches. The Lakshya batches are the Hindi batches, as well as the expedition batches are the English batches, right? Also, along with that, a set of 20 GS books curated as per the latest trend of the UPSC are available only with 1 year and above GS and combo subscriptions. Books are available in Hindi and English medium as per the learner's preference, right? Now, going on further, guys, resolution to crack UPSC CSE 2023. The introductory offer is going to help you avail an additional 10% off. Along with that, you can also save an additional 10% off using my referral code SHARMA10. You'll also be given books. The batches are starting on the 2nd of February and access to test series along with it. Also, you can accomplish your mission with Unacademy by taking up the iconic subscription. Also, in case you need to take up the loan facilities, they are also being extended at very easy procedures are there. You can get a loan at 0% interest rate, absolutely no processing fees, flexible tenures, and minimal paperwork is required to avail the same. Going on further, talking about your UPSC CSE combat, PYQ special combat that is going to be there. So questions based on PYQs of last 20 years in 60 minutes time for 54 questions to be answered is going to be held live tomorrow. That is the 30th of January at 11 a.m. Make sure you guys do take part in the same. Along with that, in case you feel that you're not clear about anything particular, so you can get in touch with your counselor. It can be related to anything. It can be confusion about your preparation journey, queries about your subscriptions, want to know about the latest offers, whatever the case may be. You're just one call away. You can call and use the code SHARMA10 and get yourselves access to the counselors and ask them whatever doubts or queries you have, right? Is there a disconnection? All right. Now let me just add the PDF for the discussion for today, right? The Bhakti movement one, and then we will go on with the discussion. One moment, please. If you have a doubt with respect to anything covered previously, please feel free to ask me whatever doubts you have pertinent to yesterday's session. All right, guys. Since there are no questions per se, so now let's talk about the Bhakti movement in North India. Yesterday we had discussed as to what was the role played by Ramanujan, Shankaracharya, and others. Today we are going to talk about how it was spread to North India, right? Now, the Bhakti movement in the north included socio religious movements that were linked to one of the acharyas from the south and is sometimes seen as a continuation of the movement that originated in the south, right? So, that is exactly how it goes, right? Though there were similarities in the traditions of the two regions, the notion of bhakti varied in the teachings of each of the saints. The Nirgunas like Kabir rejected the Varnashram and all conventions based on caste distinction and championed new values, helping the emergence of new groups and new unorthodox Protestant sects. The Sagunas, like Tulsidas, on the other hand, upheld the caste system and the supremacy of the Brahmins. They preached religion of surrender and simple faith in a personal God and had a strong commitment to idol worship. Right? So that was the kind of thing that was going here. Now, please be careful about the Nirgun and the Sagun saints that are going on here. You are at times asked questions about these. Please read through the slide. If you have a doubt, ask me right away. I hope you've read through. Now, moving on further, talking about the monotheistic bhakti. Now, Kabir was the earliest and most influential bhakti saint in North India. He was a weaver and spent a large part of his life in Benares. His poems were included in the Sikh sculpture, the Adi Granth. Among those who were influenced by Kabir were Raidas, who was a tanner by caste from Benares, Guru Nanak, who was a Khatri from Punjab, and Dhanna, who was a Jat peasant from Rajasthan. There were similarities in the teachings of the various monotheistic bhakti saints in North India. Most of the monotheists belonged to the low caste and were aware that there existed a unity in their ideas. They were also aware of each other's teachings and influence, and in their verses they mention each other and their predecessors in a manner suggesting ideological affinity among them. All of them were influenced by the Vaishnava concept of bhakti, the Nathpanthi movement, and Sufism. Their ideas seem to be a synthesis of the three traditions. The importance given to the personal experience of bhakti saint with God was another common feature among the monotheistic bhakti saints. Nirgun bhakti and not Sagun bhakti was what they believed in. They had adopted the notion of bhakti from Vaishnavism, but they gave it a Nirguna orientation. Though they called God using different names and their titles, their God was non-incarnate, formless, eternal, and ineffable. The Bhakti saints refused any formal association with the organized dominant religions of the time, that is Hinduism and Islam, and criticized that they regarded to be negative aspects of these religions. They rejected the authority of the Brahmanas and attacked the caste system and practice of idolatry. They composed their poems in popular languages and dialects spoken across North India, which enabled them to transmit their ideas among the masses. It also helped their ideas to spread rapidly among the various lower castes, right? That is what had happened over here. Okay? Now, going on further, we talk about the Vaishnava Bhakti. In the 14th and the early 15th centuries, Ramanand emerged as a popular Vaishnava Bhakti saint in North India. Though he was from the south, he lived in Benares because he considered it to be the link between the South Indian Bhakti and the North Indian Vaishnava Bhakti traditions. He looked upon Ram and not Vishnu as the object of Bhakti. He worshipped Ram and Sita and came to be identified as the founder of the Ram cult in North India. He, like the monotheistic Bhakti saints, also rejected caste hierarchies and preached in the local languages in his attempt to popularize the cult. His followers are called as Ramanandis. Tulsi Das also championed the Bhakti cause. In the early 16th century, a popular Bhakti saint popularized the Krishna Bhakti. Among those who followed Vallabhacharya's footsteps were Surdas and Mirabai. Surdas popularized the Krishna cult in North India. Mirabai was a great devotee of Krishna and she became popular in Rajasthan for her bhajans. Tulsidas was a worshipper of Ram and composed the famous Ramcharitmanas in Hindi, the version of Ramayana. The Vaishnava Bhakti movement in Bengal was very different from its counterparts in North India, and the south was influenced by the Vaishnava Bhakti tradition of the Bhagavad Puran and the Sahajya Buddhist and Nathpanthi traditions. These traditions focused on esoteric and emotional aspects of devotion. In the 12th century, Jayadev was an important Bhakti saint in this tradition. He highlighted the mythical dimension of love with reference to Krishna and Radha. Chaitanya was a popular Bhakti saint from the region. He was looked upon as an avatar of Krishna himself. Though he did not question the authority of the Brahmanas and the scriptures, he also popularized the Sankirtan, that is, group of devotional songs accompanied with ecstatic dancing. With him, the Bhakti movement in Bengal began to develop into a reform movement with the notions of caste divisions that came to be questioned. In Maharashtra, the Bhakti movement drew its inspiration from Bhagavad Puran and the Shiv Nathpanthis. Janeshwar was a pioneer Bhakti saint of Maharashtra. His commentary on the Bhagavad Gita called Janeshwari served as a foundation of the Bhakti ideology in Maharashtra. Arguing against caste distinctions, he believed that the only way to attain God was through bhakti. Vithoba was the god of this sect and its followers performed a pilgrimage to the temple twice a year. The Vithoba of Pandharpur became the mainstay of the movement in Maharashtra. Namdev, who lived between 1270 to 1350, was another important bhakti saint from Maharashtra. While he is remembered in the North Indian monotheistic tradition as a Nirgun saint, in Maharashtra he is considered to be part of the Varkari tradition, that is the Vaishnav devotional tradition. Some of the other important bhakti saints of Maharashtra were the saints Chokha, Sonara, Tukaram and Eknath. Tukaram's teachings are in the form of avanghas, that is dohas, which constitute the katha, while Eknath's teachings that were in Marathi attempted to shift the emphasis of Marathi literature from spiritual to narrative compositions. Speaking about the importance of the bhakti movement, it is not very minute. It is a lot. The bhakti movement played a very important role. The importance of bhakti or of the bhakti movement was very great. Various preachers spoke and wrote in the regional languages, and thus the bhakti movement provided an impetus for the development of regional languages such as Hindi, Marathi, Bengali, Kannada, etc. Through regional languages, they made direct appeals to the masses. As the caste system was condemned by the bhakti saints, the lower classes were raised to a position of great importance. The importance of women in society was also increased because the bhakti movement gave equal importance to them. Moreover, the bhakti movement gave to the people a simple religion without complicated rituals. They were required to show sincere devotion to God, and the new idea of life of charity and service to fellow people developed. That was the aspect pertinent to it, right? So with that, guys, we have finished the bhakti movement also as per whatever we were supposed to talk about, right? So with that, I'll be ending the discussion over here for today. Thank you so much for joining in for this session over here. I hope you guys have understood everything clearly. In case you still have a doubt with respect to anything, please feel free to reach out to me at any point of time. On that note, guys, study well, revise well, and take care. Stay safe, take care of yourselves and your family members, and I hope you guys have a great day ahead. Take care. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.